Hi, this is Dave Chappelle. I don't know what the fuck this podcast is about, but when I'm stoned out of my fucking mind, I love the shit out of it. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey.
Hello.
I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
Yeah. Box of tricks.
That's right. I've been led to understand that tricks are exclusively for children. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, they say tricks are for kids in the commercials.
And is that enforced by law?
Not to my knowledge, no.
So if I purchase these tricks, there'll be no trouble?
No, you should be fine.
You do understand that I myself am not a child?
I was able to sniff that out, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bring these back to my apartment. And I won't be followed.
No, that's not in our budget here.
Hey, I won't forget what you've done for me here today.
I would prefer that you do.
Welcome to the American Moron Entertainment Network.
You know, if you get sweaty and want to take your shirt off, that'd be just fine.
Yeah, that'll work, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, whatever works for you or her or him or whatever. I don't know.
Whatever, man.
Hey.
So, we're back.
We're back.
Sorry about that. I was...
Wait, what'd you have, man? You had cold?
I'm assuming it was a flu.
Oh.
Because it was...
Oh, that's right.
Because everybody's getting
You
the
were
flu.
telling me what
Quiet
your symptoms were.
It wasn't really bad.
Had a lot of that stuff going
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Bree had gotten sick over the weekend.
Was it like, were you just fighting it off?
Well, yeah, like she got sick on like Saturday night. She was really sick, and I'm like, and she's like, "Are you going to see old school?" I'm like, no, I'm not going to see old school. You're not feeling well. I'll stay here in case you need something.
We were far away anyway.
Yeah, but still, I mean, she was really sick. You know, since she got back from the hospital a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
shit hits her hard, and so like Sunday, my throat was a little scratchy. I was like, and she's like,
You weren't doing this, were you?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
But no, it was just, I was like, no, it's not it. It's something else going on. But then I started feeling bad Monday, and I'm like, all right, shit, what do I do? And I'm like, I'm going to
see what happens.
I'm going to give it till Tuesday and wait and see. And I waited until it was after 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, dude, I think
been there.
It was like, I could do it. I didn't feel that bad. But I didn't want to come down here.
We didn't want that in this house.
Like, yeah, I don't want to be coughing all over your shit and everything. And then you guys get sick, and then Nancy's mom, winds up, dead or in the hospital. Because
my goodness,
it was really bad. Like, I'm serious. This laid Brie the fuck out. So I was like, I took COVID test. It wasn't that. So, but right after, like about 2 hours after I texted you, it started to hit me.
Ooh.
So like that night,
well, I knew when I wrote
really
you,
shitty.
and it took you a couple days to answer me.
Yeah, well, because Wednesday I slept all day and just stayed in bed. I've done that now twice in my life.
Mm.
I was like, I don't have time for this shit. I'm just going to spend the whole fucking day in bed. I used to quaff a NyQuil like it was, like juice, and just passed out. And I woke up and it was dark, and I'm like, oh.
What happened to the sun?
Like I called out of work and everything. Like I've only done that like maybe
Steve Tabilio's calling me on my regular phone. So let me see what's. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Paul. I can't get on the link, so.
Oh, I have you on the show through the phone right now, but Jim's gonna.
I'll resend it.
He's gonna resend it to you right now.
I don't have a computer. I only have my phone. My wife has the laptop, and it's just making me go through all this different.
Oh, gotcha. Oh shit. I don't know if it's on the phone, what it can do.
I don't know what it does on the phone.
Well,
you're technically on the show right now.
Cool.
I have you through my microphone.
A verbal interview. That's
okay.
All.
There we go.
Can you hear Jim?
Yes, I can. In the background.
I'm very, very loud. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was just going on about how I was sick. So sorry.
I wonder if Russ is having the same issue, but we have Steve Tabilio on, and Steve and I are participating in a pretty cool show this weekend down at the Block at Harrah's, and they have a new concert series going on, and our bands are playing along with Steve's relative, from what I understand, in the Circus Hearts. So the three bands this weekend will be the Circus Hearts, Seems Like Tuesday, and Instinct. And the show is running in the following fashion. Seems Like Tuesday will go on first, followed by the Circus Hearts, and then followed by Instinct. And I think the show starts at about 8 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. The first band goes on. Is that correct?
Yeah, doors open 7:30 and the show starts at 8. Yep.
Perfect. So we're all looking forward to this. This is the second show in a series of original rock bands showcasing at the Block. They used to do this a couple years ago, and it went by the wayside. But now they've relaunched this whole program, and it's pretty cool. I've been to Harris. I saw Tease there. Old School was asked to open for Tease a couple years back. For whatever reason, we couldn't do it. But I went to the show anyway, and we had a wonderful time hanging out and meeting everybody and seeing all the rock and rollers from all over the area. And it was a really cool time. It was a great room. Excuse me, a great room. That's my vocal
There you
cord.
go.
And then my wife and I went and had a really nice dinner afterward, and we gambled. And, for me, that's the perfect night.
Nice.
Yeah, I was there. I think it was last Saturday or the Saturday before that. I don't
Saturday
even know the
before
days
for
are all
Sick
together.
Vicky,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was Sick Vicky, Rat Rod, and I think Harkin. I think was the other band's name. It was like the opening night of it. They had a couple little kinks, but sound wise. But I mean, they got it cooking after a little bit, and it's a very large room.
Yeah,
It's very boomy in there.
Yeah, it
as
holds
far as
about
sound-wise.
probably holds about 1,000 people in there or something.
The best thing I could say is keep your stage volume down, because the ladder you're going to be on stage, I mean, it's a very big room with huge ceilings.
Yeah.
So you got to have your sound controlled in there for sure.
Gotcha, man.
Real cool room. They don't whack you over the head for drinks. The bathroom's right outside the place, so it's not like you got to walk a mile through a hotel to go to the bathroom.
No, it's right across the hall, and it's a very nice. Well, I haven't been in the women's room, but the men's room is very nice and very clean. And
yeah, they had the attendant in there cleaning up right after you.
Oh, the ladies' room's usually garbage.
Oh,
it's terrible. It's a terrifying place, like a jungle.
I'm sorry you went there.
Yeah, a friend of mine cleaned bathrooms, and he showed me.
I see. I
went to therapy for a long time.
He went to therapy. Oh my.
Yes. Hardly kill anybody now.
That's your sound for the night. Steve can't hear it, but that's fine. He'll believe it when he hears it back.
There you go.
But
I'll watch the replay.
The replay on YouTube. We're on there live right now. For those that don't know, if you're listening on Facebook, just go over to YouTube and like us.
We had less trouble there.
And you can subscribe to our page, and you can see this show on there, and you can watch it anytime you want for the rest of life.
Yep,
we're there forever.
We get enough subscribers and move over there. We can have nudity in this.
We could do a lot of different.
Us.
Not us, no. But there's a chance that we could do other kinds of video.
Yep.
And that is in the talks right now. We have to, we have the management that we have to deal with, but we are working on possibly doing some other content.
Fortunately, a lot of them got fired last week, but they're back now.
Some of them are back. Yes. Yeah. The one guy, that was okay.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I threw him down this flight of stairs. It's cool.
He didn't behave.
Dick.
So Steve.
Yes.
Are you psyched or what?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing. The band's definitely been playing a little bit more often.
I saw your schedule.
Yeah, well, Erica and I freed up our schedule because we're not doing the cover thing no more. So, we're just concentrating solely on this. And we, through the big records people we're affiliated with, we signed with this guy, Jim Buffett, who's he's a booker through Grace's Musicians Management Group. So he's booking us in a lot of clubs like up in New York, and we're going to do some casinos, and we learned a bunch of covers so we can do different things and branch out a little bit more and play some bigger places and get onto some bigger bills. And the schedules is packed right now, and every day we just booked another gig today. So it's just, every time you go look at the schedule, it's probably going to be more and more dates. So It's cool. It's not as I guess demanding as like a cover band schedule, like I was doing with the business, which was like that schedule was insane.
Yeah.
This is more like maybe 3 times a month or something, which is a lot easier than 3 times a week.
I hear you.
So we're looking. Yeah, you know the deal. I mean, old school schedule's pretty packed. I see you guys are playing all over the place, and I think people like that don't know better to just come and see a play, and they don't know the I guess the ins and outs of the cover business. I mean, when I was in the business and we were doing the casinos and stuff, you're playing 350s. When you're doing weddings, you're playing 440s.
Right.
So that's like 4 original gigs in one night.
It is. It's a lot of work. And you can't.
If you do back to back to back, you're pretty tired.
You're tired, and it's funny. So sometimes when I'm doing the old school shows, you have to pace yourself. You can't go out in the first set and just act like you're at the Spectrum and kill yourself, because you won't make it through the third set.
Absolutely.
I mean, only Bruce Springsteen's capable of that. I mean, I've never seen anybody do it for that length of time with that intensity. And I don't have wardrobe changes available to me, and I don't have stage hands.
You don't have a masseuse and like a hot tub in the back.
Well, that one gig we did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she was all right. But you do the best you can. So you have to pace yourself. And unfortunately, that's not the way I like to play. I like to go out and play intensely if I can. But I am 57, so I'm slowing down just a little bit.
Sure.
It's like a hockey tournament.
When I was doing the covers, there was literally a set of music, and I'm not bullshitting you. It was 40 minutes of me playing Four on the Floor, like it was like all the disco classics, I Will Survive, Boogie Oogie, all that kind of stuff. And I was literally playing Four on the Floor, boom, 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 for 40 minutes. I wonder that's how many times did I hit that bass drum in a 40-minute set.
Probably about 1,000,
after a while, you
5,000.
start to feel the effects on your knee and
sure.
everything else. The sciatic nerves start kicking in. I had to start sitting different. There's wear and tear on musicians, like your neck and head banging and everything, just like an athlete. It is. There's wear and tear on your body for sure.
All over. I mean, I get cortisone shots in my fingers to keep them moving. It's
I just tape them.
Well, if I tape them, I can't bend them.
Yeah. And
speaking of that, Steve went through a very traumatic injury last year, and had all of our attention and all of our hopes and prayers. For real. I know I was keeping in touch with you pretty regular, making sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just want to know how you're doing with all that now, officially on the air.
It's good. I was lucky enough to get a very good surgeon and a very good rehab facility. And as I said in the podcast before, for people who don't know, that are just tuning in now and don't know my story, I got hurt at work, and 4 of my fingertips got chopped off from like the first joint up. And it was horrific and terrible. And I play drums. I'm right-handed, so just everything, brushing your teeth, shaving, everything was a problem. But I rehabbed, and I got a great surgeon, and they injected Cal collagen and shark protein in my hand, and I basically did everything I was supposed to do, plus whatever they told me to do, I did twice as much. So I was ahead of the game, and my hand looks great. I mean, I have a nail bed back. People can't even tell. They're like, I can't believe that you got in that accident. Your hand looks like this. I mean,
wow.
It looks just like the other one. And the only thing is, it's a little bit sensitive to the cold. And I work in a produce center, so I'm cold most of the time. So that's a little bit difficult. That hand's a little bit more colder than the other one, and it's a little bit more sensitive. But I mean, I can hold the stick. I could, I didn't throw a punch with it yet. I don't know how that'll hold up.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm in no desire to have any fights at my age now, but everything's great. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, they say, God gives you what you can handle. Geez, you must think I'm pretty strong to give me that. That was a real gut check, and and depression sits in, and that sets in, and you're just like, wow, man, and why did this happen to me, and etc. But I got through it, and I had a great supporting cast, and like Paul, I appreciate you always checking in with me, see how I was doing, and my family was awesome, and I had a great wife through the whole thing to help me out and wash my back and all them kind of things, and I got through it, so I'm good now.
I'm
good. I'm
very happy to hear that official in the air. I knew some of this stuff off the air, but I wanted to give you a platform to talk about that, and it sends a message to people. When you go through stuff. You can come back. Maybe you can't do what you did before, but there's other things you can do. Life is about renewal. And if you want to see some real renewal, I mean this, if you want to see some real renewal, come out this Friday to Harris and watch this son of a bitch play the drums. Because I saw him, it was about 2 weeks after the accident. He played with one arm. We did a double show. It seems like Tuesday and Old School.
With a standard kit, not any Rick Allen shit.
There was no Rick Allen going on. Yeah. No offense to Rick Allen. We can all sympathize with that situation based on this. Yeah. But Steve absolutely killed it that night. And that had to be probably the most difficult gig, other than probably your first time playing in front of an audience as a kid, that you ever did. And dude, other than the people who knew what was going on, nobody in that audience knew anything.
It was I just was threw caution to the wind. I'm like, look, I'm just going to go out there and do the best I could with the one hand. I think the best compliment I got that night, because you remember it was wrapped up pretty good. It looked like I had a foam hand, like a Green Bay Packer foam cheese hand.
Yeah.
Then I come off the stage. We did 2 sets. We did a set, we took a break, and then went back up and did another set. So I went out, went to the bathroom, got something to drink, etc. And this girl comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, what happened to your hand?" I'm like, "Well, I heard it. I heard it at work. It was, terrible accident, but I'll be okay." She's like, "Well, how are you gonna play?" I was like, "I've been playing for 40 minutes already." She's like, "That was you up there already?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was me playing." So that was like a great compliment right there.
Hell
nobody
yeah.
even really noticed, But yeah, I just put it in my head that I wasn't going to let let something like that slow me down, and I'm stronger cause of it. So
See,
it all worked out.
I love it, man. And it was that was something. That was something. It was funny because you and I connected right, or we'd known each other. Maybe we knew each other back in the day, but I know you now. From about that point, maybe shortly before, right? We did a couple gigs together, and it was just funny how life works. And got to know you a little bit before that accident happened, and it was such a striking thing to have happen, and it hit all the musicians I know who know you. It hit us all in a different way, because we all imagined what we would do similarly if it happened to us. You know what I mean? You're like, what the, what am I going to do with all my stuff? Like, can I play? Like, what, these are things that go through your mind. You really put yourself in that situation. It's empathy and curiosity, and there's just all these emotions that go on. It's really wild. The human condition is a magical thing.
Well, I mean, you're a guitar player. You just strum with your tongue.
Yes.
That'd be fine.
Well, I learned from Hendrix.
There you go. Yeah.
Paul, I think another thing is too, it's like if you've been playing this music as long as like you and I have, and your band like Terry and Russ and all, you've been playing stuff as long as we're lifers.
Yeah.
So it's like when that happened to me, I was like, am I going to be able to play? Because I don't play drums. It's not what I do. That's who I am.
Right.
So that was like that would be like, if you were, like a hockey player and you can't skate no more,
right.
It was like, well, what am I going to do? But, I, as I said, man, I fought through it and I got through it, and it was May 10th to be exact, was the exact date. Never forget that day. So it's almost like, coming up on a year, and I'm way ahead of where I was supposed to be, and
you're gigging and you're out there, and it's so cool. It's just so cool.
I went right back to work. There was no light duty. I walked right in, went right up to the truck that did the damage to me, you know, and just faced it head on. And I was like, all right, I'm right back to where I was. And, you know, as I said, it was such a bang thing. And I just couldn't get out of the way in time. And, you know, but I'm not going to let that make me so fearful I'm afraid to do anything. I was just like, look, you know, it could happen again, or I could just, you know, I mean, anything could happen, right? I tell my children, I was like, we're all left-hand turn away from getting in a car accident, right? I mean, it can happen to anybody at any time, so you can't live life like that. So when I went back to work, I just went, you know, balls to the wall, right back into it, and, you know, and I'm right back to where I was, and, you know, learned how to work around it for a little while. And now I'm back in the grind of, you know, making 2 minutes in the one all day long, you know?
I remember you and I having that conversation before.
Yeah.
2 minutes into one.
Yeah.
Oh
I got that saying off. I got that saying off my father, because he used to work piecework. He was a tailor for Sight Chick Clothes. He used to make all like suits and stuff for like the Phillies and high-end clients and everything. And he said, you know, so obviously if he was on piecework, the more, you know, the more suits he cut, the more he made and stuff, and the more money he brought home. So, you know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My dad was the breadwinner, so we wanted to eat. My dad had to work fast, you know.
Right.
So he said to me, he was like, you know, when he used to fight with my mom, you hear him, he's like, I gotta, you know, make 2 minutes in the one all day long, and then I gotta come home and I gotta fight with you. I get no peace or whatever, you know, whatever you would say. But
that's 1 minute into 5.
Yeah, that's one of them lines that would stick with me. Making 2 minutes in the one, which is the truth, man. You're just always hustling, you know, trying to, you know, beat the clock, you know.
Awesome, dude. Russ just you can't see it because you're unfortunately on my phone. He said it is awesome, Steve. He's complimenting you.
Oh, thanks.
I think Russ is going to be on in a few minutes, and I know you have band practice coming up, right?
No, but I do have to go to the Opera House, which is this recording studio, because I am doing a session gig for someone. So, no, I don't have band practice tonight, but I do have to be somewhere.
Now, there was an Opera House many years ago in South Philly.
That's the one.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's owned by Tony Mecca and Mike Forte, which I don't think they bought it from the original guy, I think.
I used to rehearse there, dude.
Yeah, so did I back in the day. Dude, it looks exactly the same. So now, instead of rehearsal rooms, all of them rooms are recording studios.
Like it used to be before it was a rehearsal room.
Right. So like in the back where Rasheed Wallace used to have his rap kind of studio, Jim Salamone has Cambridge Sound Studios back there.
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
There's another one, Found Sound, which is Scott's place. And then there's this dude Turtle in there. And so there's a bunch of different studios. Like there's like a rock room, there's like a rap room, you know, and all them rooms now are all studios. So there's no rehearsal spots.
That's so cool, man. I love it. Oh my God. Because RPM's long gone. We used to rehearse there back in the day.
Yeah, I did too.
God.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I remember putting all the equipment in the elevator.
Yes.
And you had to take it up the stairs, and then yeah.
Oh my God, those were fun times, though. We used to go to South Street afterward and drink after band practice. At least I did. But I always did something and drink.
There was like a South Street. Now it's just totally different.
Yeah,
than what it used to be.
It's not the same. No.
Yeah, I remember I used to just go up there just to walk around.
Sure.
Like, I didn't worry about buying anything, but I would go in the Blacks and Zipperheads, and then you would go in the Tower.
Absolutely.
And you just look at the records, even if you weren't going to buy them or not. It was like a hangout.
Go into Hats in the Belfry and just try everything on.
I don't know that one.
The hat store.
Was there a hat store? We used to, oh God, I was down there so much. I had a girlfriend who worked at Downey, so I was down there all the time.
That place was on Bar Rescue recently.
I know. Well, it's gone now. They bulldozed it.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Nance and I went there right after it was on Bar Rescue, and things had not improved at all. So it was when Old School played at TLA, I had to go down and pick up our tickets. We got like, you know, I don't know how many tickets. I go pick them up. So we got the tickets, and then we went down to Downey's to have lunch, and it was horrific.
Yeah.
I was afraid to eat my food. I probably shouldn't have. Whatever.
It's a very different vibe down there than what it used to be.
It's nothing like it was. That was the avant-garde young person's place to go. It was fun. It's where all the kids went, where all the hip young people went, in their 20s.
When they got rid of Zipper Heads and Tower Records, there was no
It was
point.
over.
It was done. Yeah.
So I don't, now everybody goes to like Northern Liberties, I guess. And, up near, Kung Fu Necktie and all that. That's the hot area. And we can sit here and bemoan it and say, it was better when we were doing it, but I don't know, maybe it's better where they're going now, the kids.
No, I'd rather bemoan it.
But that's what people do.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going up there, if you go up to like Northern Liberties and some of them places like Old City, you're buying a drink, it's like $15 now.
That's the average. Yeah.
Right.
And again, there was a place next to, what was it? There's a place next to Duffy's. It was like that in the late 80s. There was a club down there. I remember I went in and I was there with a date and she's like, "Can you give me a glass of water?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm kind of thirsty too." Went up and I said, "Can I get 2 glasses of water?" And the guy's like, "You might as well get the shot." "No, I just want 2 glasses of water." "You should get the shot." That went on for several minutes. I didn't understand what the hell he meant because I was like 21. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And he's like, "It's going to be $8 either way." And I was like, $8 for each, it'd be $16.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't really care. I just want water. Just give me the water. Here's $20. Have fun.
Was it Flanagan's Boathouse?
No, I can't remember what it might have been. I don't. It was right next.
Yeah, there was a cool. There's cool. It was down in the basement.
Might have been. God knows. Man.
That was an interesting. I had an interesting time there. I was there with my girlfriend. I was on a date. Not a date. I was my long-term girlfriend. And
well, that's a date.
And so this giant human, muscular human comes walking. I'm long hair, skinny guy back.
Do you mind if I dance with your date?
And she turns to me and she goes, "Oh, I know him." I said, "Oh, how do you know him?" "Well, he was a male stripper." And it was her ex-boyfriend.
That's all bad news.
Yeah. So who do I end up standing next to in the bathroom at the urinal?
Oh, and you looked, didn't you?
I'm like, fuck.
You checked it out, didn't
I did not.
You lie.
I don't even know if there were. I don't know what. I don't remember. Just looking. No, I didn't look. But
you like
it was just so. It was just so weird. I'm like, of all the fucking things that have happened,
you can kind of lean over and go, "That explains a lot."
Oh God. Well, dude, I'm gonna let you go so you can go do your thing.
Okay.
And for the rest of you out there, Steve Tabilio and his incredible band, and I know a lot of the cats in that band because we played with them, and I know them all from years of playing in the same scene. Seems like Tuesday. They will be live at the Block, Harrah's in Chester. They call it Harrah's Philly. It's right next to the soccer stadium. That's this Friday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m. And they will be joined by the Circus Hearts and my band Instinct. I couldn't, having a vocal cord issue.
Gotcha.
There is free garage parking there. So come on out. I think it's only like $15 to get in the room. And it's a classy place and it's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, I'd like to say hi to Dave McGuire and Joe and Kerry and of course, Russ. They're all tuning in. So come on out this Friday. Check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's not going to be the same old. You're going to watch 3 bands do their own thing. Not the average cover band thing. There's no cover band. These are bands playing their own music that they wrote. And that used to be a thing. That used to be a really big thing. Now, I know for my son's generation, there is a whole new underground crowd going on. They're all playing Ortlieb's and they're playing Kung Fu Necktie and all these places down in Center City. But for us old heads, this is a throwback to the days of the Galaxy and the Empire. So I encourage all of you to come on out and check it out. It's going to be really cool. And my band Instinct's going to be playing songs that we wrote in 1988 for crying out loud.
People weren't alive then?
Some of the people that are listening right now probably weren't alive then.
Yeah.
So
I think that's one of the good things. I mean, all 3 bands are completely different.
yes.
But we're not so far fetched that you got like a pop band with a thrash band. We're just 3 straight rock and roll bands.
3 shades of rock.
Right. We just do it kind of different.
Yep.
And Eric is the first singer, and then Terry will be the last singer. So your bookend acts are both female singers. They're both chicks at the end.
I love it.
Yeah, so that'll work, and then the circus arts are right in the middle. So it's going to be a good night of rock and roll. As Paul said, I think it's $15 if you buy a ticket off one of the band members. I think it's $20 at the door, and they don't take cash, so you need a debit or a card or something like that.
Good to know.
More people going in. And if you get lost, you don't know where it is, look for the jail, because it's right across the street.
No. No.
Jail, like right
Well, that's
across
probably
the
the
street.
safest place in Chester.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Hopefully I see everyone there, and I'll obviously see you there, Paul. I don't know if you're going to go, Jim, but I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for having me on.
And Steve, belated happy birthday to Erica.
Okay, I will do.
It's been a while, but it was probably closer last week. But I fucked that up.
I can't wait to hang out with you guys.
Okay, I'll see you there, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you for calling in.
All right, dude. Anytime.
Take it easy, Steve.
See you, man. So apparently he couldn't call in. Russ is having an issue with it because you have to use Google Chrome to use a phone.
What is with all this nonsense?
Google is completely evil now. They've changed everything, and like StreamYard, it interfaces with Google more than anything else. Like we used to do it on Firefox.
Well, Russ, if you want to call my phone, we can do it the same way we did Steve. I can put you on the air.
I think if you have Chrome installed and try, it should work, because I tried it myself and I got the same crap.
And we'll put that out there. Russ from old Instinct.
Old Instinct.
He was an old school, so he technically is he's a veteran of old school.
So I'm gonna finish this last bit.
Version 1. This beer that we are drinking, it's an oatmeal stout. It's exceptional.
I love this. This is
Sam
one of
Smith.
my two top favorite.
Did we ever
beers.
do this before?
A long time ago, but we didn't deal with it.
I would put this at the number 2 spot.
What are you gonna do? Like a 9?
Yeah.
All right. I got it here. 9. So far, we've got a tie between Newcastle Brown and Murphy's.
Yeah,
so we may have to have a tasting at the end.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, I've been drinking Murphy's every weekend now.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
So it's
yeah. It's
Sam Smith. Yeah,
they're from Yorkshire. Yeah, Yorkshire, England, the UK.
I want to go there.
I want to go to this place. They brew this in slate.
My paternal grandfather was an immigrant from England. So I've heard. I'm adopted.
Yeah, I don't know. I traced my mother's family back to Amsterdam in 1699. They just kind of cruised across Northern Europe and then made this jump from like Belgium to Georgia, which is kind of creepy.
I can taste something, but there's definitely no physical oats.
It's made with oats.
Are they floating in there?
No, but I've made it before. They put oats in it when you brew it, and it just gives it a mouthfeel. It makes it kind of softer on the tongue.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's really good
Absolutely
stuff.
delicious.
Sam Smith's oatmeal stout.
And I shouldn't be drinking anything after the night I had last night.
I shouldn't be there, but I'm gonna have a big. I have pounder Yingling Lights in here, so I'm gonna have one of those in a minute. So.
I'm gonna go step out and get a beer while you're doing that, but I'm gonna wait till I finish this.
Yeah, finish that one. Though.
You know,
but yeah, no, that's one of my favorite ones. I love that and Celebrator, which we did before.
Okay,
are two of my absolute favorites.
I do want to bring up another show I have coming up next week with Instinct. It was weird. We were going to have 4 shows in the month of between February 28th and the end of March. And I pulled the plug on one of them because I felt we had too many shows in the short time period. And then our show at with the Dio cover band that got pulled.
There he is.
They canceled the show. But so Instinct will be playing also next week at Bar 13 with our good friends from Monte Carlo and Rat Rod. And I think Ghosts of the Mill. So that's going to be a good show too. But let's just focus on this week and getting everybody out to Harrah's. I mean, I think for Instinct, this is probably, other than playing the Trocadero back in the day, probably one of the more high profile shows we've ever done, for whatever it's worth. So I'm very happy about that. I'm very happy for the band. A band that's been around since 1988. It's a long time. And Russ and I, we started writing some of these tunes, God, I think in 1984. So they're 41 years old, some of these. So I shouldn't be telling people that.
No. You should be lying about that.
Yeah.
Made it last. He did it last week.
Who did it last week?
You did it last week.
We weren't on the air last week.
So we're down here making songs.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Russ, are you on now?
I believe I'm on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, there's the Russ.
So I was always going to chat. Why don't you get on?
Russ is I was just telling the story earlier today. I was at work and guy asked me, he's like, oh, he's asking me my original band and how did I start playing? And I said, well, quite frankly,
It's my fault.
it's Russ's fault. I half-heartedly said to Russ that we were forming a band, my friend Larry and I, and we decided that he was going to be the bass player. And he went, okay.
You have no choice.
And he called me like 2 days later. We didn't really think anything of it. We were just,
Well, actually, the first thing I said, what's a bass?
I thought you said that, and I said that earlier. Okay,
Did
so
you
what's
think
a
it was
bass?
a fish?
Yeah, he had to show me in a poster.
So he calls me up like 2 days later, and he's like, I got a bass, and I start lessons on Tuesday. And I'm like, fuck, we really got to go through with this. And my first guitar was a copy of a Stratocaster, a white Strat with a black pick guard. I think it might have been a white pick guard. I don't know. But it was a Hondo. And I signed up for lessons at a place called Mike Bennett Music in Northeast Philly. And my teacher's name was Mike Bennett for the first 6 months. And then I went to Bucky. I don't know Bucky's last name. Bucky was in the basement. He had a studio in the basement.
That sounds
and
scary.
Bucky played a white Les Paul, a 1974 or 75 white Les, which is the same Les Paul custom, same model that Randy Rhoads used. So I used to be like out of my mind sitting there like this guy had this incredible guitar. And Bucky could play anything. He was amazing, an amazing guitar player. And I just figured he was just some old dude because he had a mustache.
Well,
But he inspired me to go get my first Gibson, which is not in this room. It's at my son's house. It's a Gibson S1, which is cut like a Les Paul, but it had the pickup structure of a Stratocaster. And all of this is Russell's fault.
Yeah, I was wondering if you still had that S1.
Yeah, it's
I haven't seen it in a while.
He plays
Hello,
it all
Deej.
the time, and Deej is on the line there.
So
Look at that.
Russ called your bluff, and it's his fault.
He did.
Yeah, that's because him and his friend Larry
You
were
fucked
always
her.
talking about starting a band, and they were always just joking around. And I was like, sure, okay, sounds like fun.
And it was real, and it became very real very quickly. And
And I got my first bass, which was the Gemsky Fender Precision copy.
that's crazy. Deej said she played the S1 at David's house. So that's my first guitar, Deej. That's my first real guitar. I had a Hondo before that. I got that guitar when I was 14. My grandfather helped me buy it. It was $350. I traded my Hondo, and I think I put about $100 into the deal. My grandfather covered the rest. And I bought it at Cintioli Music in Northeast Philly, which for those that know, that was quite the place to buy a guitar. My grandfather knew Benny, the owner. My grandfather was an old school, no pun intended, in my world, but he was a big band guitar player back in the 1920s. And he played guitar his whole life. And my grandpop, I have two of his guitars in the house here. I have a Guild D25 acoustic and a T50 hollow body arch top jazz guitar, and pretty cool guy. He played the banjo, the mandolin, the viola, the violin.
Do you have like a mandolin or
I
something
have
around
one
there?
of his old mandolins here. Yeah, his really good mandolin. I got rid of that to finance. It's either that one or that one down there. I think it's that one. The Ibanez up there, that RG 570.
Gotcha.
Because I wanted to have a modern shred guitar like everybody else in the scene, and this was like
All the other kids on the block.
I think it was around 1990 when I got the RG. Russ and I went and we did a 2-for-1 deal. He got a BC Rich Ironbird for about the money I spent on the Ibanez. The Ibanez is worth about $1,800 today, but that BC Rich Russ has is worth
sure.
close to about $5,000, $6,000 now.
Yeah, you don't even see them on the market anymore, especially that year and the custom paint job that thing had. And it wasn't a
Oh
traditional.
no. This is you bought the day I'm talking about is when you bought the Eagle.
Sit down at 8th Street. Okay.
Yeah, that's when we were at 8th Street. Then
Yeah,
you bought
too many music stores in our past history.
Then he bought from Philadelphia Music Company. He bought an Ironbird. It was a red burst to black.
Yeah, which they didn't really make back then because they're making all the crazy neon colors.
That was the most beautiful bass I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
And if you want to know what an Eagle looks like, it's the guitar behind Jim. It's a very strange cut.
I don't think they can see it.
No, I think there it is. Now you can see it. It's that thing. And Russ's bass looks very similar to that. It's got Koa, I believe, on the top face, but it's an amazing sounding bass. Love it. Just so cool. I have an Ironbird too now, but it's not an American. It's an Indonesian.
I think it's the only bass left from my original collections.
Oh,
Trading too much.
well, you have some nice basses though, Russ. You've got
Now, but I'm saying if I had the bases that I had back then.
Yeah, well, some of those would be worth some money.
I have a Toby Ford. That's got to be
Some
worth
not.
at least $75.
At least 70.
At least 77, I think.
Russ's first bass was what was the bass, Russ?
The gem ski.
He hated the bass so much and he wanted it to break. He used to come to band practice and let it fall down the stairs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta get another bass.
Yeah, so then my first real bass was the PV T40.
The T40, which you sold to Larry.
Yep. And he still has it.
I thought he traded it for the Les Paul Custom.
I thought maybe he did. Because I think
he did.
Larry bought another one.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought he traded it. And then you had the Duke, the Kramer Duke.
Yeah.
That was,
Kramer's version of a Steinberger.
Yeah, a copy of a Steinberger.
With an aluminum neck.
Then you had that copy of a bass collection or something like that. That was a very cool bass. Very
that was a bass collection, I believe, or
Okay.
Bass Works, or it was something
similar to like a Spectre. It was a really and that thing had a really good tone to it, actually.
Yeah, that was a nice bass. Then I had the Padula.
Oh, he had a Padula buzz bass, and for those that know, they know, but it was fretless.
Yep.
Gene Simmons was probably the most famous Padula buzz bass player in rock and roll. He had quite a few of them. There's a Serpent model that he did. It's basically a caricature of him with a snake tongue sticking out, and that was painted on a Padula. I think he had about 3 or 4 different Padula models that he played. So that was pretty cool. When Russ got a Padula, I was like, oh my God. I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, the only thing I ever bought from Benny's, actually.
Oh, I forgot that you got that there. I bought my
with no case.
My X guitar, my first X guitar from him. I'm trying to think of some other. Oh, so recently, Russ, I saw on either Reverb or maybe it was Facebook Marketplace. It was the full half stack of your original bass rig, not the trainer, but the PV Mark IV.
Yeah, I still have that. The Mark IV at the.
I didn't know you still had that.
Yeah, it's the 18 and 210s.
Yeah.
Which when I moved to my house, I put it down in the basement. Said that thing's never coming out of here again.
Oh my God!
That's where it's yeah, it's loud. I mean, I see them pop up occasionally. I've actually been following a PVT 40 on Marketplace too that I saw.
That was an okay sounding bass.
Yeah, it was very. There was a lot of tone options at the time. I didn't really understand all the tone options that it had.
PV made great stuff. I was just reading a whole thing about PV and stuff that went on. When they of course were the first amp company and guitar company to have Eddie Van Halen, and it's been recently discussed that the reason that he left them was he felt slighted when Joe Satriani came and they made the JSX head. It rubbed him the wrong way, and
well, sure,
I hear you, Deej. I do. I hear you about the Ironbird, and we'll talk. We'll talk. It's certainly a guitar that I don't play it. I don't, it's a little neck heavy, and but it's not my thing. It was my thing back in the day, but
Yeah, they were. Mine was very nice. Just
It's
add a
weird.
bass step to it and watch it, go down.
but
Exactly.
yeah, so he ended up leaving Peavy over that whole deal with Joe Satriani coming on board, and Joe was probably like, "What the fuck?" Like I came there
What
because
did
of
I
you.
do? Yeah.
So, and famously he went to Music Man from there, and there was no amplifier, and then he went to Fender, and so all the EVH stuff you see is it's basically a subcontract under Fender. A lot of it is made in Mexico, and they are very good guitars. I have one also behind Jim, the black and white stripe behind his head. That's an EVH model.
Do you want me to just go?
Whatever.
Jim, you should have started acting like Vanna White and starting to do the guitar show.
Sorry, I don't want to turn around and just.
You're just in the way of the things that are being discussed tonight. It's funny.
Sorry, God. Ted just texted me. He had a PV bass that he traded for rent in 1995, and now he found out it fetches over $1,000 on.
What did he trade it for?
Rent.
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 Oh, well,
I can see that
things happen.
Yeah, life happens sometimes.
It does.
It's either that or sex with Mr. Furley, and that ain't gonna.
I bought a guitar one time, and I had a buddy who was renting here, and he was renting a room, and he told me after I bought the guitar, he said, "Oh, by the way, I lost my job. I can't pay your rent for this month and last month.
Give me all your shit."
And I was like, I just spent the equivalent of that on that guitar. What am I going to do now? Luckily, I knew somebody who was in the mortgage business, and I refinanced my house and skipped a month's pay rent. So
that's a little extreme.
It was either that or I was going to have to sell stuff, but I needed to do something in the next 5 days. It was like right down to the wire. Those were the days where things were a little sketchy here.
Mm-hmm.
That was the oodles of noodles and oatmeal days.
Yeah, we've had those days where it's like, let's go over to Produce Junction, buy a couple of pounds of vegetables for $1.
Right. Yes.
Make some stir fry, freeze it. That's what we're eating this month.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
man.
The 12-pack of ramen for $4.
Ramen went a long way back in those days. And I'm only going back to like 2005. I had some rough times in my life, but everybody has rough times. I'm not sitting here playing my violin. I'm just telling you that sometimes it gets a little crazy, man. And you just got to fight your way back, and you will. Yeah. But and then you have days where it's really great, like Friday night, where I'll be at Harrah's with Russ, my longtime.
That's called a segue.
I know. Partner in crime musically. Russ and I have been writing music together since probably about 1983. We need to get back on that again.
What the
just
hell?
You and I need to come in here and just start piecing some songs together, because I think that's the best way to do it, Russ.
Yeah, it's the most effective way, because we when we do it, we turn out a bunch of
just
material.
Tidbits. Yeah,
Yep.
We need to write a song.
We need more songs about aliens.
Hey, we have one.
Sammy Hagar steal that from you?
Our first band was called Trifalon, and it was the whole thing was science fiction based.
You geeks.
We were.
Proud of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the Searching for a Soul was basically an ode to the Trifalon.
It was. It was.
That's okay, Jim. We forgot we were on too.
Oh my God, Jim, you missed the whole thing. Like it's over. I don't even know.
It's over. It's over, Johnny.
So I this past weekend I did an experiment on my Mustang. I replaced the fuel injectors and the coil packs, and the coil packs are what deliver the spark in a modern car. And I will say that the experiment was an incredible success.
I didn't hear any explosions or see a lot of
You've
smoke.
probably heard me revving the engine a few times.
A little bit.
Yeah.
No fire engines on the street?
Nope.
No, that was me on a Sunday. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. We'll let you go.
I had some stuff I had to burn.
It's okay. I know you cut your finger and you were doing something in the garage the other week.
That was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
So I took the Stang out and I ran her up 422, and she was running hard, and she was good. So now I got to get the front end fixed, and I got a guy I found. One of my son's friends works at a repair shop. He's going to take a look at the front end. Probably needs tie rod ends or something of that nature.
Gosh, Mr. Adler, what the fuck did you do to this thing?
I can tell him. I know what I did. But once she's all together, I'm going to start doing the car shows again, get the baby back in. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to order up a set of new seat covers because my seat covers are from 2002.
Oh,
and
God,
the leather
you
is a
suck.
little worn.
Hmm.
Little worn. I have 108 or 110,000 miles on my Mustang. But I'm very excited to get back in the drive with my baby. And it was such a success that Russ, you may recall we did a gig in Center City and I started up the Element and it stunk. Do you remember how bad that was?
Oh yeah.
Would
We
you
did that
have
down
the
by the-
engine to try and like impress chicks?
Exactly.
In the
If
Element.
you stink, they come to you. So I've determined
Daddy?
that the same thing that I did to the Mustang is what's needed for the Element. So I bought all the parts for that. They're sitting in the other room, and I'm going to install them probably Saturday afternoon. And hopefully, no more. Well, the mileage should go up, and
Well, it always
the
go up.
gas smell should go away, and all that fun stuff. And she'll get a second wind. So
That thing's been a workhorse for you, though.
she has been. I mean, I got that car in 2008. It was a year old. It was a repo. And
My God, I think I had a 2008.
the first weekend I got,
bad year for people.
I brought it to your house the first weekend I got it. You were having a party at your house, Russ.
Oh, okay. That must have been when we first. Oh, okay.
It was a really unique looking vehicle at the time. I mean, it was
It's no cube.
no, it's much bigger than a
It's
cube.
nicer than a cube. I hate- cubes offend my daughter. She gets really angry when she
And the
sees
suicide doors are weird. It's hard to get used to.
What style? What do you consider that car? It's not an SUV. It's not a van. It's not a
considered an
car.
SUV
It's an
by
SUV.
the Department of Transportation.
Okay.
Paul called them. He needed to know. He was on hold for like 5 hours. He's like, I will wait.
But it's based on a Honda Civic.
Right.
So did you put like a big coffee can muffler on it and just drive around like an asshole in the 90s?
Only for the first minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have it in the 90s. But
I know. I'm just,
I don't know. It was the most reasonable purchase of a vehicle I ever made. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy a Honda. Oh my God, I'm being responsible.
that's the car I have now. What are you talking about? That Kia. That's just like,
You've
I
gotten
need a
great
cheap
longevity.
car.
I
I
mean,
love that car.
Well, I got my Element I bought for $17,000. It had, I think, 9,000 miles on it or something like that. Not even that, probably.
My Jeep was the same. It was a 2008 Liberty. Had the exact same mileage, just about, and it was a repo.
Oh wow,
That's when the bubble burst. Everyone lost their car.
Yeah.
So
That was
hey, Joby.
I had the Mustang then still, Oh man,
I want to go out and get a.
How's Joby doing? Joby, I'm going to see you in a few weeks on St. Patty's Day. I'm going to be at, I am going to be up at McStew's for St. Patty's from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
That's actually religious for them.
I don't think I've ever played on St. Patty's Day physically.
What the hell? Oh, you're going to be a fucking mess.
I did one time. Terry and I's old cover band. We did a St. Patty's Day gig up in Bethlehem.
360? Was it 360?
Yeah, 360, and it was at a college bar. And literally, we came in, and we could not get off the stage until the club closed.
Oh.
It was just we couldn't go to the bathroom. It was crazy.
Pee in the corner behind the drum kit.
Exactly. I mean, we took our set break, like looking out the crowd, like first of all, they're not happy we stopped playing. Second of all, we're all going to take a piss.
What you do is you grab an empty pitcher, you fill it full of urine,
exactly.
and you hand it to somebody.
Honestly, when we used to play at Molly McGuire's, it was like that. They didn't want you to stop playing. I'm looking forward to this. I'm pretty psyched for it. Like I said, I took the next day off, so I have a couple hours to sober up and get my act together.
Well, you got to till you drive home.
What?
Till you drive home.
Till I drive home. Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The green beer and all that.
Yeah.
I'll have that from 6 to 8, and then I'll drive home around 1 or something in the morning. That's enough time.
I remember one of the last,
unless I go to the after party.
One of the last St. Patrick's Day piss ups I had when I was younger was went over to Bennigan's, came back, and we were like bar hopping around Bennigan's and all around the like Hula Hands, anything that sounded even remotely, Irish, the Lucky Charm, whatever.
Right.
And we're going to these bars, and I mean, all night we're going to different places, and we get back to my house, and my friend goes in the bathroom, and he comes out cursing at us like, "Why didn't you tell me I had a foam leprechaun hat on all night?" Like, sorry.
And
Jim,
Joby
you still have it on.
I'm gonna give
I still have it in my living room.
I'm gonna give Joby a little plug here, even though it's counter to what I'm doing. But Joby's band, Romeo Delight, an incredible Van Halen cover band. And they're sort of like the godfathers of Northeast Philly. They're playing at Broken Goblet this Friday night, and they're doing Fair Warning front to back.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
That's cool, man. If I wasn't playing, and I mean this, I would be there.
I would be there too. It's my favorite Van Halen album.
It's my favorite Van Halen album, I think, too. It's the Dark album. It's
Yeah, all the Dark albums are good. It's like Aerosmith Rocks, Van Halen, Fair Warning. The Dark albums are good.
So Joby's saying McStew's is going to be packed. Well, that's good. That's what we want, Joby. We want to have a packed room. We're going to have the full band that night. We're going to have
Bring your diapers just in case.
Bob Chavis and Deej on vocals that night. And of course, the old school back line as it's been for many, many years. So it's going to be cool. Very psyched for that show. Levittown's been very good to old school in the last couple of years. It's becoming our second
a lot
home.
of tax breaks and
No tax
kickbacks.
breaks.
And, oh no.
No. I have to work that out with the other guy.
Oh, that dickhead. Ugh.
Yeah, that's fine. He's not on the show tonight.
That's fine. That's fine.
He's got his little talk show going on. It's because he's only putting out one video every 2 weeks now.
Oh, that guy. I thought you were talking about something else.
He did the haunted chair, or the witch's chair. I like that one. That was good. That's we're talking. I'm joking.
See, I think we should
Tom
just
Nally.
we should just do like a parody of what Tom does.
We could
But
do
just,
that.
Just
but
go to the dumbest shit in
we
this
could
town.
find a cardboard box.
Yeah, like this is the Upper Marion box. There's a lot of legends about this. They say the witch of Upper Marion.
We could do
died
it about
here.
we could do it about the sinkhole.
Oh yeah, like
Let's go to
oh
202.
my god, I'm so tired of people being mad about the sinkhole. Like people are bitching like it's an infrastructure problem with the United States. It's Biden's fault or something. It's been doing that since the fucking town was founded.
Of course,
it's a big fucking hole next
We're
to
built
it.
on top of
Limestone
very cheap
caverns.
stone.
God damn it! Pay attention in geography. Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
Fucking
Todd
people.
Fry's in the house.
Ugh.
They just had a really cool gig. They played a gig with Ted Poli.
Fine, I feel better now.
And Ted is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in the music business. I did a show with him probably about 6 years ago, 5 years ago. 6 years ago, I think. Yeah, it was 6 years ago. We played the
Time is bunk.
Sleazy Slimy Sunday show.
Oh, that's right. I wasn't allowed in. Yeah, I remember that.
Did you eventually? You eventually got in.
I was the last person allowed in the fucking building.
So we played with LA Guns and we played with Ted Poli and Steve, the singer from Kicks, and it was a quite a plethora of bands. And so we all had the same green room. We had we food and beverage privileges.
Yeah, what
in
was
this
that
room.
like?
It was awesome, man. To like be just hanging out with Ted Poli. Like, hey, dude, what's up? How's it going? Hey, man.
I was in the parking lot watching.
I'm sorry.
You know who eat out of a chip bag? It was gross. She found it under the back tire of a Celica.
Oh God.
Yeah, nasty shit.
Things change, Jim. Things change.
Things change. No, they don't. They just
do.
get stupider and fatter. Sorry. What did I say? Where's that?
That was a fun day. That was a fun day.
Very nice parking lot.
And it was, it was the day after M3. It was all the bands, that couldn't play M3 or whatever. We were the only cover band there, old school. It was pretty cool. So Russ and I have, we have this Friday, we have, we're playing down at Harris, and then next Saturday we're playing at Bar 13. It's cool. I'm happy. Now we just get some more gigs, Russ. We gotta find.
Yeah, but the next 2 weeks should be really fun. Looking forward to playing with everybody because haven't seen anybody in a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been forever since we played with Still Tuesday and Rat Rod, and
yep,
these shows are going to be definitely killer.
I'm psyched. And
last time was at Berlin Brewing, wasn't it?
With yes,
yeah.
So and then I played with them shortly thereafter with Old School. We played over at the Laughing Fox in New Jersey, and that was right after Steve. It was the week after.
Yeah, I remember.
Maybe 2 weeks after.
Berlin Brewing was cool though. They took us in the back, and
yep,
it was really distracting.
It was very wet.
Stay back there.
Well, yeah, the floor was wet from the
they
beer.
Cleaned it. No, they cleaned it. It was nice.
Oh, okay. Well, I had a good time, and you were the MC that night.
Yeah, it was a shitty MC apparently.
He's never gonna let me live that down. I teased him one time.
You did not tease. You were cruel. You're gonna suck. Thanks. That does wonders for my
I was
confidence.
just trying to give you pointers.
There you go. Yeah. Sorry.
And he never emptied again.
No.
He MCs every week.
Didn't we tell you about we're doing on Friday that you're emceeing?
Oh, he did that one time. I thought he was joking. He's like, "No, I thought you were going to MC that show." I'm like, "Fuck that! No, what? When? Last weekend? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not doing that again."
It's funny because when Jim comes, when Nance does the show, Jim and Nance do it. They do a good job together.
Yeah, we make fun of you.
Well, most of it,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
but it's good. I can just sit back and drink my beer and make fart noises.
One of us inevitably asks the other, "Is he always like this?"
No, he's usually crabby and mean. Which is true.
Being a dick
in the house. I'm just a nasty fucker. Oh,
Yeah.
I hit the wrong button. No, he's usually crabby and mean.
Yeah,
True.
being a dick
in the house. I'm just. Oh, look at that!
What the fuck's happening? How did you do that? You hit what key did you hit? Don't unmute shit.
I hit the repeat button.
Jesus Christ
That
Almighty!
was cool.
Yeah. Right. Huh?
If you're gonna leave with a bang.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I had Fox News on for a second there. Sorry. I'm allowed to make fun of them. I'm allowed to make fun of them. I worked for their company.
We both did.
We both did.
We
That's
both
right,
worked
yeah.
for Uncle Rupert.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I was in meetings with Uncle Rupert. God, that guy's a monster.
I was not.
He's awful.
He bought my company after I left, actually. So I worked for the Cable Guide, famous cable magazine back in the day, and then I worked. That was it. That was the only cable. Well, I worked for the weekly magazine they produced, but I worked for a periodical.
Yeah,
a periodical,
a magazine. If
that's
you
the
will.
professional way of saying it.
Yeah, a piece of shit is the other way of saying.
Well, it was. It was just coming up next. Gilligan's Island.
Like people were like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I'm like, "I make a 5x7 coaster for your dining room table."
Except for there's a famous episode of Seinfeld where George's father's they gave away his TV guide and he
that creeped me out because one time I went to my grandmother's house when I was a little kid and I said, "Hey, there's this show coming up." And I was wondering, can I get your TV guide? Because my family's cheap as shit.
I was the same way.
We didn't have fucking trash service. My dad took it to work. So like I said, can I get your TV guide next week? Because there's something I want out of it. So for the next 15 years, she saved all of her fucking TV guides for me. And I couldn't get her to stop.
Oh no.
So like I wouldn't go over her house for like a month and then she'd like hand me like a stack of TV guides. And I'm like,
I only wanted it.
Grandma, what is this? And she
You said you wanted that magazine.
And every time it was the same thing. She'd go,
like Don Rickles over there.
Take them fucking home. And then when I worked for TV Guide, they'd give us two copies every week, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't take them fucking home. So what I would do is take one copy and I rip the cover off. That's the one I would actually take home. And then I would doctor the cover and make it all fucked. Like do some fucked up collage. So like I remember that they got in trouble because they did an O.J. Simpson thing right after the whole slow speed chase.
Yeah.
And that was on the cover is OJ and the
Good
Bronco
morning.
and all that stuff. And then you open the cover and there's an ad for a knife. And that was offensive to some. So I, of course, cut the knife out and put it in OJ's hand. And like, I used to do them every week. It was like this, people would come over to my desk like, what is it? Oh, that's awful. What's wrong with you? But they're going to give me two of the fucking things. And then I would, if I hadn't seen my grandmother in a couple of years, she'd just hand me a fucking pile of them. So.
Well, then when Kiss was on the movie Kiss Meets the Phantom,
yeah,
I tried to get every copy of TV Guide and everything. And I think I have the cover somewhere in my collection.
That is such a bad movie now.
It was.
Have you seen it recently?
Now it was always bad.
No, but I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really. Yeah, we should do that. and I can't even act as I'm not a good enough actor to be that bad.
It's
terrible.
It was atrocious, but see, that wasn't the point. It was sort of like porn.
Okay. Well,
So if
you
think
watch
of-
some fucked up porn.
I'm saying from the perspective of as a Kiss fan, especially for me, I'd never seen them other than like maybe on the news or whatever, and I'd never seen them move. So they were like walking and talking. It was like they're alive, like I only saw them in 16 magazine and Hit Parader and on the album covers and got to listen to them.
Oh my god!
So it was a pretty exciting night for me.
Yeah, I mean we were all psyched. Like you got
But
made fun of being a Kiss
so
fan.
bad.
My school, if you didn't watch us, they'd kick your ass.
Oh, we got
Oh
tormented.
my god, we were
Tormented.
everybody. That's all we were talking about.
Oh, it was.
That's a fact.
It was
That's a
rough.
fact.
That's not from the movie.
No, here it is. Wait, that's it?
So what happened
This
was
is a bunch of crap.
they weren't given a script.
Apparently not.
And what happened was they were under time constraint. You're gonna get me. I'm gonna get fucking killed.
No,
for
it's
this.
just a movie. You can show movie stuff. Play movies. As long as I don't play music.
And what happened was they would literally feed them the line, which somebody would say,
Oh.
say this, and they take good enough. Let's go.
Gene, just pretend you're growling. We'll dub that in later.
I mean, meanwhile, they could have. Gene was probably pretty good at that stuff, But
Well, he was in what was it?
Runaway.
Runaway.
That was excellent.
Like what was that? Like a couple of years later.
It was about 6 years later.
Yeah, it's a couple.
And Peter Criss had a part in that prison show.
Oz.
Oz. He was in Oz.
He was in Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Pretty sure that was the show he was on. And he got pretty good reviews for doing that.
No.
Was he in a couple episodes or just one?
I think he was in a couple episodes. And Ace is not a good actor. And Paul.
Oh my god, he was in Oz.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrifying.
I don't know why it's horrifying.
As long as he wasn't
Watch the show? Ugh.
As long as he wasn't a friend of Adabusi.
Oh.
The one who had his voice overdubbed in the movie, Joby, was Peter Criss. And they used the guy who did a lot of the Hanna-Barbera movie voices. I think he was the guy that did Shaggy.
That was Casey Kasem.
I think that's probably who did Peter Criss.
Really? It wasn't like somebody else like Dawes Butler or something?
I don't know. It was one of the regulars for Hanna-Barbera. You can look it up. I'm not sure who it was, but I know, like when I heard the voice, I knew exactly who it was. I was like, oh, that's that voice from Saturday morning cartoons. Ace, they had his stunt guy do half the scenes, and the guy was black. The whole thing was just, I mean, he's wearing makeup, but you clearly could tell that the guy wasn't Ace Frehley,
Michael Bell.
Okay.
He actually did a bunch of voices on the 80s Transformers.
Okay.
I think he might have actually been like Bumblebee there too. G.I. Joe. Yeah, he did a whole
He had
bunch
that
of stuff.
gravelly, happy voice.
Yeah, I hate
And
that.
Peter Criss had a similar kind of, but he had the Brooklyn accent though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I met Peter Criss and he was one of the
he was a My Little
nicest
Pony
people.
too.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's horrifying actually. Ugh.
Hmm.
All right, I don't want to look at this.
We
anymore.
digressed.
Yeah, sorry. Go back to this. Nope.
Anyway,
Yeah.
probably lost a couple people.
That's fine.
What else is going on in the world? I shouldn't finish that
No.
question. Sorry.
Well, if you want to go back to it, I'll just.
Don't mess with Texas.
Good morning.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb.
What's my? I have an instinct gig, an old school gig coming up next week. I'll be at the Marsville Tavern on Friday night with Old School.
Is that in Morrisville?
And yes. I
Oh,
ironically, it's in
gotcha.
Marsville. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean that can happen.
It does sometimes happen. Yeah.
I'm at the new perennial. I don't know, whatever. We're at the Marsville. I think we have Bob Chavis singing that night, solo. And then the following week we'll be somewhere.
Jesus Christ. You just drink more.
I know we're doing Screwballs in 2 weeks, and I know we're doing Peppers and
the next week after.
and then we're playing Well Crafted Brewing in Lansdale. That's going to be an interesting show. It's a cool room for
Well
that.
crafted.
Well
I
crafted.
want to see what they've got.
Lansdale's got,
Well crafted.
I guess so. I think it's primarily a beer bar. I said it correctly, right? Well crafted, yeah.
Yeah.
They have quite a beer scene going on in Lansdale right now.
Hmm.
Lansdale, Pennsylvania. So I'm kind of curious how that's going to go and what that's going to be all about. I saw my son's band at a brewery place up there. It was great. We had a great
Well,
time.
they have a lot of IPAs.
Oh, well, that's the thing right now.
No, it isn't. Nobody drinks that shit. Ugh. They even have a cream ale. Who the hell drinking cream? They get a lot of 10th
Genesee
grade girls.
cream ale.
Yeah, it's like every chick in high school. Like you wanted to get them to a kegger, you brought Jenny Cream.
Oh,
They got all excited about that
they
shit.
like cream.
I would assume. I don't. I was good. Boy.
Oh, we're diving in deep here.
Nah. What's this crap? What's going on here?
What do you got going on there? Do you have the Florida Man thing?
I don't think I do.
Are you kidding me?
I was sick.
I was looking
forgot
forward to that.
fucking do it. All right, if you don't look, I'll do it right now.
All right. This is exciting. Jim does this it's a little trivia thing. It's called Florida Man, and you have to guess which of these stories is untrue.
Yes.
One of these stories Jim has fabricated in his little brain, and all the rest are actual events that have occurred. And most weeks, nobody guesses the right answer.
Yeah, I fucked up for a while there, though. But
we enjoy doing this. I enjoy this.
all right, let me figure this out real quick.
Okay, take your time.
I'll get this done.
So how many are fake and how many are real?
There's what do we do? Like 5 real, 1 fake, something like that. Okay.
They're so absurd that you
You never could. You really can't
really
tell.
No.
All right, that's good. Right.
Everything okay over there?
I just have to make one up now.
All right. You're literally fabricating.
I'm literally doing it right now. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I may know where you put that. You might want to
For
move it to
fuck's
another
sake.
area. I didn't.
I told you, don't look at my shit.
Don't look at me. I'm ugly.
Sicken me with this. You know, you really do. All right.
No, I'll never know.
Come on, talk. I don't want to hear people.
So
typing.
Russ,
I'm
what
not doing here?
What base are you bringing this Friday night?
Friday I'll probably bring the both the jazz bass and the Music Man bass.
Okay. Oh, how's that working out?
As far as
No, you had a couple little setbacks with the Music Man, and it's
no, I did some repairs in the last month or so. Had them up on the desk and cleaning them out, and everything seems to be working good. Just got a new pick guard for my Steve Harris bass too. So
nice.
Had someone custom make the red mirror that was originally on it, which I never got since it's impossible to find.
That's like my S1. I had a custom made pick guard that doesn't match anything in reality. It's marbleized, but it looks great.
Yeah, this is a red mirror, like a burgundy red. That was on the first year edition of when the Steve Harris bass came out. The Artist Series, we had a red mirror on it. It was only out for 1 year.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can't find them used anywhere.
Probably a beer while you're out there.
Then they added it later on when they started making them in Mexico, but it was not the same hole pattern as my bass.
Yeah, yours is Japanese, correct?
Yeah, the only year they made them in Japan.
Yeah, there was that period of time where they were transitioning things out of Japan back to, or not back to Mexico.
Yeah.
I have to tell you that Japanese guitars are exceptional, but the Fender Mexican stuff is some of the finest guitar. There's some of the finest guitars around. The hardware is sometimes not the best, but if you switch out that hardware, you've got yourself one hell of a guitar.
Years ago, I had one of the first Squire Mexican basses. That was actually very sweet sounding. I was surprised when I first got it.
Was it the one guy in what the hell band was it? He was playing Squires. He had them refretted and they put different pickups in them, but he was playing them. Genesis, the guy from Genesis was doing that. It's pretty cool.
Mike Rutherford.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. There was a whole story about it. People were like freaking out. He's playing a Squire. What the? Like, well, his tech, better pick guard.
Yeah, it's you.
Whatever.
You're buying for the body.
Yeah. Like all the women. I'm going to be playing my Mexican German hybrid strat on Friday if everything works out the way I want it to. I'm going to break it. I had to put new strings on it, so I'm going to break it in tomorrow night at band practice. And I don't know when to bring as a backup. Probably my American Floyd.
Grab this at random.
Oh, a Murphy's. Can't go wrong there. I just realized when we were setting up here that if you look at my mesa behind me, you'll see that there are 2 silver orbs missing compared to the one below it.
What the fuck?
I lost a volume knob at my show. I lost the presence on my my red channel, right? So I'm gonna have to. She's gonna need to go in and get some service done. I don't use that channel, so it doesn't bother me so much. But that's weird, man. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Somebody must have bumped it hard. So I'm gonna have to find some knobs for it. And
Yeah, it sucks when you can't find knobs.
nope.
All right, ready?
All right, here we go. Florida Man.
All right. Okay.
We need theme music for this shit.
We do have theme music.
Oh.
All right, now get the theme music. Hang on.
Banjos.
Kind of, yeah. Nope, shit, that's not it. There it is.
Oh, here. Hello. Oh,
okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Test your knowledge with Jim Perry.
Yep.
There you go.
I just like it. I feel like I'm being chased by the police.
Just like the old days.
Yeah. Well, not so much the music, but
I got fired yesterday. Ain't that some shit?
there you go. All right. So
we had that guy on too, I think.
Yep. So yeah, we did. All right. So the first one is Florida man tries to get an alligator drunk, gets bitten. Florida man wears "fuck the police" shirt to court and wins case. Florida man in a "no, seriously, I have drugs" t-shirt arrested for possession of drugs.
Oh, that has to be real.
Florida man suspected of using private plane to draw giant giant penis on radar. I don't know why it says radar.
I was trying to figure out that.
Sorry. Florida man charged.
I have to digest that one again.
Florida man suspected of using. He flew a plane on radar and the track penis. Florida man charged with assault with a deadly weapon after throwing an alligator through a Wendy's drive-through window. Florida woman throws panties at judge, declares, "I work for a living."
So one of these is real, or
One of
these
these
fake?
is no.
One
One
of
of
these
them
is
is not
fake.
real. The rest are.
Okay, that's what I thought.
All right, Russ, what do you think?
I'm thinking about the Florida man suspected of using private plane to draw giant radar on radar.
You're saying this one?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with the same one, I think.
Okay.
I don't know how you use a plane to draw. Well, it was crop duster.
You just keep.
Joby's saying it's the woman who threw her panties.
Okay. So he's saying that one. All right. Anybody else? I'll give it a minute. All right.
Anybody?
Let's see
Bueller?
what I got here.
Bueller?
Anybody? What the hell? All right. So for this one, it is not.
All right.
This guy, no.
Oh, we got a run. We got a contest going on tonight.
Ooh.
Nope.
I got nervous for a second there. You highlighted the wrong line.
And the real one?
The wiener is.
Nope. That's the fake one. Joey's right.
Oh,
But you get see. Well, no, why? Because it's not Florida man. It's Florida woman.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah,
Oh,
I threw a wrench at you there, but yeah, no, I get why you guys might have done it because it said radar on radar, but
Yeah.
No. I just thought that.
but
was
I actually
pretty funny.
copy these things right from the page. The page might have been wrong. So
Well, did you ever do the this internet search to put Florida man and put in your date of birth?
no, I don't want to do that. It might show me.
Yeah. And just don't put in yours. Put in your
Joby,
month and day.
You're the winner.
Okay, I mean, there's nothing you win, but
you win the
Bragging
satisfaction
rights.
of winning. Yeah, he's got
Florida
brag-
man on my birthday, like the whole thing, or just the month and day.
This is your month and day.
What is going to happen
I
now?
don't know. I'm afraid.
I'm scared.
Oh, for fuck's
I'm
sake!
scared.
Florida man set fire to a statue of Jesus along with 2 houses.
Why not?
Sure, that sounds like me. I can't get this to work. All right, so what is it? You're 17th of what? What is it? 4?
April.
I got a message from Irv, Russ, and I'm trying to figure out what.
When Irv's buying tickets online, you want to know how we get credit.
I don't know. I don't know how any of that
No,
works.
you do. If you buy it online, you mention she's going to ask at the door who you're there to see.
Okay. Well, that's an important thing to say now. So if you're coming to the Instinct, seems like Tuesday, and Circus Heart show this Friday, they're going to ask you at the door who you done come to see. So, if you want your favorite band to get credit, just tell them Instinct.
So your birthday?
My birthday? Yeah.
A man clad himself in concrete outside the governor's mansion, protesting the coronavirus conditions in prison.
Oh. Well, I could see that.
Yeah, that's horrifying, man.
Cement's a fun thing to work with.
Florida man,
Especially in the Florida heat.
Yeah.
I honestly thought after I lived there, I thought the Florida man thing was something that I just came up with. I didn't know it was like a whole thing.
Now, they actually do that on WMMR on the morning show. They do a Florida man segment too.
It really is a fucked up place. It's like you just shake the shit out of the country and everything just falls down in that wang.
And then the heat and humidity cooks everybody. And
oh god, it's awful.
It's great this time of year. This is the best time if you want to go to Florida and do the amusement parks and all that, go in February. It is absolutely.
I just don't like going to Florida.
It's like about 62 degrees. It's awesome.
Yeah, I remember going to school wearing
My son's going to spring training next week.
I went.
Oh, cool.
To the Phillies, yeah.
Clearwater's a shithole.
Well, he's going, Jim, whether you think so or not.
At least the place where I was sent for training. The rest of it's kind of nice, but
Listen,
down in Largo where I was, it was all strip clubs.
Largo is
the Keys.
I think that's the
No, it's not Key Largo. It's just it's
no. Largo is Central Florida.
It's next to Clearwater,
and that is where Ace Frehley. I think that's where he got shocked, and led to the song "Shock Me," which also kickstarted the high development or the development of professional wireless systems because Kiss wanted to have them for their guys.
I thought that was Hedy Lamarr.
No,
you sure?
I'm just telling you what I heard.
I just remember going down there for training and they booked me in the wrong place. So like I was waiting outside for the shuttle that was supposed to take us to the training facility. It never came because I was in the Holiday Inn Express.
Well, at least you got a good night's rest.
No, I didn't.
You're
Because
supposed
there
to
was
when
a
you go
cantina
there.
next door. And it was like these massive strip clubs, like huge strip clubs all around me that were like just populated with drug dealers and hookers, and it was hard to walk around. And then I found out that right down the street there was a skating rink. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to go skating.
Mm-hmm.
I get the world's worst pair of fucking ice skates ever, and everybody in there is just standing around like in wife beaters, like.
And you're skating.
I'm trying to skate, and then I like was getting all funky, and some guy was like, "Rental skates suck, don't they?" I'm like, "Don't talk to me.
I'm not from here, y'all."
That's when I begged my mother.
You look like one of them Italians, aren't you, boy?
Yeah, I know.
That happened to me. Boise, Virginia. Remember, Russ?
Well, that tracks.
No.
Didn't you go to Boise, Virginia? No, you didn't go there.
No, I'm saying, what was I, Virginia?
Place you
We
remember.
went somewhere, and onions in the sink thing. Remember?
Oh,
I thought that was Boise.
that was the Poconos. The Poconos.
Was in the Poconos. Okay.
Onions in the sink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. It's another story for another day.
Was that? And that was the other time we were up at the Poconos. There was a pinball machine in the basement. I
You
remember.
weren't there more than once.
We must have
It
because
was
I
a long
remember
weekend because of
there was.
Yes, you guys drank.
I remember being in the basement playing pinball because I was so pissed off and bored.
And the moldy movie theater.
Yeah, it was like the floor was soaking wet.
Oh, that just means they cleaned it that time.
No, it was
just
it was
sticky
nasty,
wet
yeah.
and like a cab. Yeah, okay.
And but we did go to a cool music store and they had a very rare Epiphone made in Kalamazoo guitar that I seriously was debating buying, and it was
Is that worth the sticky floor?
It would have been if I bought the damn guitar.
See, you should have bought it. The floor wouldn't have
And then we
mattered.
went to some shitty steakhouse.
Yeah.
Did you ever get a Philly cheesesteak anywhere but
Not
Philly area?
that kind of steak, a steakhouse.
No,
Like,
I'm just asking.
yeah.
Has anyone ever gone and gotten a Philly cheesesteak outside of Philly?
We tried it once in California, and that was the last time we ever tried it outside the state.
Did you get sick?
And it was stupid. Like people outside Philadelphia think the cheesesteaks have peppers
Steak.
in them.
Yeah.
And it's just not a Philly cheesesteak.
So I've gotten one that was like a New York strip on some kind of roll.
Yeah.
Which was the nicest one. My dad got one in Tennessee, and I'm like, don't eat that.
And it's
Why?
funny. The outsiders, when they come to town, don't know what to call it. They call it a Philly cheese. Because I've taken a few people from my company. The first thing when they come in and said, "Hey, can you take me to Philly cheese?" I'm like, "What the fuck is a Philly cheese?"
What's wrong with you?
So I'm curious because Wawa is now opened up all over Florida.
Yep, already years ago now.
I'm curious because they sell steak sandwiches. I'm assuming they're the same steak sandwiches they sell here.
Would hope, yeah.
So I they're not great, but they're pretty darn
They're close
enough.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's not like chicken fried steak on a bun.
Right.
Yeah, well, you need the right roll too. That's the key.
Yeah, I mean,
And
if you don't have-
Wawa's,
yeah.
they do the rolls right. So the next time I'm in Florida, I am going to have to just for the sake of experimentation,
go to Wawa and get everything you would normally get at a Wawa and try it. Yeah,
it'd be cool.
and if they fuck up, you're like, "Yo!"
I'll tell you what's great. I did stop at a number of Wawas last time we were down there because
There's one in Disney World right near where
we
we stayed.
well when we went to we were going to Universal. There's one across the road, so I had to piss, so we stopped off and I'm like, you walk
It's
in
Florida, just anywhere.
I
it
know
works.
exactly where the bathroom is because all the while it was so cool.
To the right or the
It
left,
was-
the opposite side of the ATM machine.
It was just kind of weird, like to be in another state.
Where's
like,
your ATM machine? Do you need money? No, I have to piss.
not weird. Like, I don't know. It's just,
It's a standard model.
It's sort of like, going to McDonald's. All the McDonald's are McDonald's, but it was weird because it's
but
such
now
a
they're
Philadelphia thing.
like midlife depression McDonald's. Not fun anymore. They're gray and
I saw that they're
What
doing
the
all the,
fuck?
well, everything now is the white tone. Everything's white and the new design ethic is everything's white.
so everything's like Fritz Lang's Metropolis.
It's really weird. So we went we go to Vegas quite a bit, Nance and I, and we went to the what's the name of that freaking place? Now I can't remember the name of that.
Bunny Ranch.
No. She asked me if we wanted to go there. That's a long story.
We have time.
The Fountain Blue. So that's one of the newest hotels, if not the newest. And the design aesthetic in there is the bright white, cool blue carpets and stuff like that, but it's very neutral. It's so neutral that it's boring.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I found it to be just aesthetically unpleasing, unappealing, unpleasing, whatever you want to say. The beer's kicking in now. Anyway, I'm not really happy with the current shades of gray that are going on.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's like, why is this happening?
It's a new thing. It's
It's
clean.
horrible.
It's clean. It's clean. It's very clean looking.
It's very, very much like the
Clean.
Nazis.
All right, Jim. It's 8:58, and
That's the way to close the show.
we did a lot of promos through the whole show, but we'll go out with some more.
Yep.
So, Jim,
Hmm.
is there a cat thing tonight?
There is. It may be one from last week. I'm not sure, but yeah, the cat call on MoncoRadio.com. My daughter Cat will be astounding people with her bizarre taste in music. That's actually really eclectic and cool. So, yeah, tune in MoncoRadio.com at 9:00.
See that? And that's just a minute away.
Yeah. If you're like bored and you have nothing to do, there you go.
Other than sitting here listening to myself speak and having friends on the air, I will be Friday night, as we've already mentioned, at Harrah's, the Block, with Instinct, my band of over years, and we'll be there with Seems Like Tuesday, and the Circus Hearts. And if you want to see this, if you go and you like it, and you can come see us next week. We'll also be playing at Bar 13 with Monte Carlo, Goes to the Mill, and what was the other band? Rat Rod. I should know that. They're my good friends. I love those guys.
Come support original music, because without original music, you would not have cover music.
And I will say this: Rat Rod changed singers, and their new singer is spectacular. So I'm really psyched for that show. So thanks all for tuning in.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Easy.
This is a good show. Had some fun.
We're a good show.
You know,
I'm not autistic at all. Like,
Don't touch it.
It's a good show.
What was
Touch
that?
So we'll be back next week, and we'll be doing promos for Bar 13 and stuff, and all that other stuff, and St. Patty's Day and all that fun fucking shit.
Yeah,
I had to get some F words in before we left. So
yeah. You got to definitely get that in.
And
all right, well, listen.
So thanks, Russ, for coming in. Hanging out.
Thanks, Russ.
Getting it working. Thanks for Steve for making it work eventually.
And Joby, who won the contest of nothing.
Yep. Sorry about that. We'll have to figure something out. I don't know what. We have no prize.
We should get some swag.
You put his nothing gift in the mail.
And get some swag.
Maybe we'll get some T-shirts made.
Some shot glasses or something.
Yeah.
We can do something.
don't stay out too late.
All right, I won't.
For fuck's sake.
All right, well, we'll see you next week, and if not, we'll see you Friday night.
Right. All right. That was just it was like almost like a double negative. I got confused.
Good night.
All right. We'll see you then. Take care. Good night.
Take care, everyone.
Good riddance.
See you, Russ.
Good riddance.
Stop that right now. All right. Good night.